Well, we didn't think it would happen this quickly, but since we last spoke, Mercedes, now no belts, no boats, Monet, has lost her primetime wrestling PTW Women's Championship, her WPW Women's Championship, and, well, she didn't lose the other one, but we'll say why she doesn't have the other one in a little bit. Diana added to the CEO's very unintentional belt dropping tour of Europe in Poland over last weekend by reclaiming her championship back from the wrestler who actually took it over in the first place. Jody Threat was awaiting Mercedes Moné as she returned to the Americas, and she won the WPW Women's Championship in Winnipeg, in Canada. Now, the APAC Women's Championship for APAC Wrestling in Puchong, Malaysia, was, which is a title that does basically belong to North Phoenix Diana, if we're to be like honest. That woman basically constantly holds that belt. But it had to be relinquished instead of being defended because the company could not afford to get Mercedes to Malaysia. And even though she won it in New York, they didn't want it to be defended outside of Malaysia. So that was a bit of a bummer. So she had to relinquish that. So now that is vacant. Hmm. And now the lady doth have no belts. Mercedes Monet only has the Owen Hart Cup tournament belt, and that is bound to be starting soon. So she will have to relinquish that one also. Do you think that Mercedes Monet will be coming back to AEW alone, or will she have some muscle? Speaking of, have you thought about our discussion from last week's episode on the many possible suspects of in the Who Took Timeless Tony Storm out case? Hmm? Oh, and by the way, I'm Bex, and this is Don't Call Me Diva, where we talk AEW and affiliated women's wrestling. We like to keep this show in the realm of fun times and kayfabe and also delusion, and in doing so, we have created quite a bit of lore. This is episode 43. So if you are new, you can either just go with it and learn on the go, or if you want to know more about me, you can flip back to episode 1. All right. And then we'll see you in episode 44, because obviously you have to finish this episode first and then go there. Okay. Now, back to what we were saying. Diana Strong, the recent inheritor of Mercedes' Polish boat and belt. The event was called More Money, More Problems, which was a bit of a omen, really tempting fate with that Mina Shafir reference as well, and with the headline match of the show held by PTW's Performance Center in Kozlo in Poland. It was live on the telly even in Poland on the Extreme channel. But I wasn't able to find any way to watch it, which was a bit poo. I don't know how Diana Strong defeated her because of that, and it bugs the living shit out of me. I actually probably could have looked a little bit more because there may have been like since then, and by the time that I like was looking, there may be more like written up about it. But at the time, I couldn't find anything, and it was really, really bugging me. I need to know the drama. But what we did actually get recently was an amazing little backstage video, like of real life between like Mercedes Moné and Diana Strong, and it's really, really sweet. I haven't been able to check it out in full yet, but like it looks lovely. Primetime Wrestling have their previous match, hers and Mercedes, uploaded. So we might actually get to see this match in the future when they upload it to the YouTube channel. Now, if you did not know, Diana Strong is from Zakopuna in Poland and made her wrestling debut at Godzina Zero in 2019 for KPW. That's a cool freaking name for a show, Godzina Zero. Following her loss to Mercedes Moné and not, unfortunately, becoming the inaugural champion, Diana Strong got pissed and she ended up challenging the men's PTW champion, Punisher, I mean, not Punisher, Puncher, which she lost, but I'm sure it was good for her to get all of that anger out. Along with her new PTW championship, Diana also holds the Slam Women's Championship for Slam Wrestling Entertainment, which she won at the beginning of March, not that long ago. The BLW Women's Championship for Big League Wrestling, a title first held by our brawling bird, Jamie Hayter, and Glam Championship for Rings of Europe, a title she defended in November last year in a prison rule steel cage match. Yes, please. Diana Strong is the Polish national junior powerlifting champion in like for real reals, and she has won many a gold medal and holds many a deadlift record. Like she's like no shit, Diana Strong. She's already giving back though at her young age, and she is a training coach for junior girls. So like all the ups to Diana Strong, lift that woman up for women's wrestling icon status, please. Jodie Threat, on the other hand, is an icon in her own way. She is an explosion of unhinged gloriousness. She's from Toronto, Canada, and debuted in pro wrestling in 2017. Jodie Threat is another very powerful wrestler who uses a fisherman's carry facebuster called the F416, which is like a sit-out spinning rack power. No, a spinning rack bomb called the F bomb. Oh, I'm sorry. And a sit and a sit-out spinning rack bomb called the F bomb. They're not the same thing. Jodie Threat, along with being the new three-time WPW Women's World Champion, she is also the current WrestleCore Infinity Champion for WrestleCore and Smash Women's Champion for Smash Wrestling. Jodie Threat, she is currently signed to TNT. TNT? No, TNA, and has won the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships as Spitfire with Danny Luna twice. Threat is also a two-time DPW champion, the BW Women's Champion, Clash Women's Champion, Demand Lucha Open Weight Champion, and was the last ever Destiny Revolution World Champion. Back in 2022, Jodie Threat battled an amazing Athena on a Dark Elevation match, and that is the only time we have seen her in AEW so far. Jodie Threat has wrestled all over the world in multiple wrestling promotions and has had many intergender battles as a tag team or even in singles. Threat defeated Shayna Baszler at the final of the very first no, neither of those, WPW Women's Voyager Cup. I was about to say Voyager Cup, but that's not quite the right thing to say. And got the opportunity to battle Mercedes Moné for her WPW Women's World Championship from winning this. So, hey, it could have been Shayna Baszler. Imagine that. Jodie Threat's hair is a stunning shade of red, which you can see right here. She is quite badass. But yeah, Jodie Threat, amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, you'll be able to see her in TNA a lot if you want to like check out more of hers. Now, moving on to Eve. If you were unable to watch Wrestle Queendom, by the way, you can now watch the Chris Statlander versus Charlie match on the Eve Riot Girls, that's 3 hours of wrestling YouTube channel. And coming up in April, well, we're in April, but coming up in this particular April, Eve and TJPW are having a combined event, which will be at least very epic. They put out a lot of free matches, so it's not necessary to be a member of the Eve channel, but you do get the pay-per-views if you do. We are so lucky, aren't we? the amazing women's wrestling everywhere. Speaking of lucky women's wrestling YouTubey thingamabobbies, you may not be aware, but Stardom do many lives on their YouTube page, okay, and have a lot of content to watch for free. They just uploaded a bunch of great wrestling like only a few days ago. So go subscribe to Stardom if you haven't already. With that said, we are about to talk about the action that went down on Dynamite. So, can you guess who we will be talking about first? I don't know how she manages to do it like every week, but here we are, opening our ramble of Dynamite with the problem, Marina Shafir. She is battling in a trios match with John Moxley and Daniel Garcia. Fucking Yuta carries the gold. Marina is stern and glares instead of shit talks this time. She's dressed for battle business, doing me the personal favor, in Death Rider gear. Skyflight are out next. Zeta Steel bounces out with top level energy as Darius and Dante complete their battle entrance. I cannot wait until you know what we're going to be side settling into, don't you? Layla Gray. Ah, I cannot wait until she is back and vibing with Zeta, creating tag team wrestling awesomeness. And by the way, while we're here, in health news, she is adjusting to the healing part of the journey. It sucks, but she is strong and has a lot of wonderful support around her. So hopefully by all in season, I'm giving her a lot of grace, we will have her back. We wish you all of the luck, Miss Layla Gray. Now back to Zeta Steel and all of her awesomeness. There is something incredibly addictive about Zeta Steel's energy and vibe. I just fucking love the way she moves. Her sass is followed up with like a tough skull. She's not intimidated by any wrestlers bigger than her and looks real cute doing it. She is rocking red and black two-piece battle gear with matching crop battle vest. They hit the ropes, Zeta disrobes a vest, and they complete their very cool battle pose. As soon as they turn around and get into the ring, though, the Death Riders rush Skyflight and take each one of them out before the bell. Rude. The menfolk exit the ring, leaving Marina and Zeta to officially start this match. Zeta comes at Marina with a lot of momentum, but Shafir is instantly at top level, mad, and judo the fooks out of Steel. Then chops the living breath out of her. A whip into the ropes causes Steel to unintentionally propel herself into a bone-crunching kick from Shafir. Steel cries out in pain and drops to her knees, and Marina smiles devilishly. The toughness of Zeta's head comes into play as she shakes off the kick to Marina's surprise and almost caves in Shafir's head with a gorgeous running knee to the face. But Marina blocks it just in time and plonks Steel onto the top rope. Zeta feels another crisp chop from Marina and then kicks her in the face out of frustration and also to get her out of the way, even just for a moment. For it was all Zeta needed to fly at Shafir and take her off her feet with a lovely Hurricane Rana. Zeta went for a side headlock next, which hindsight was a terrible thing to do against Marina Shafir, unless you yourself are a slippery submission genius, and results in Zeta having her arm twisted and kicked right in the elbow joint. Double L. Because that's the nastiest place Marina could think of. Zeta shakes out her arm. Well, no, I'm sorry. Steel stumbles backwards and Darius tags in. Marina walks to her corner and she gracefully tags in Garcia. Zeta is like shaking her arm out on the apron. The damage from Shafir seems to be kind of moving on though. Steel is hyper focused on the battle that's going on in the ring and catches Marina Shafir off guard with a drop kick that sends her out of the ring with the rest of the Death Riders. Hyped To the tippity tops, Zeta exchanges looks to her teammates, and they all sprint off the ropes and dive out onto the unprepared Death Riders and take them all out. Skyflight get to their feet, and Zeta fuels the crowd with battle energy, and the crowd gives it back with battle power. Marina spies an opportunity to stop a flying Dante and grabs him by the boot behind the ref's back and his teammate's back as well. Zeta recovers her stamina but notices then that her teammate Darius is still out on the floor. She jumps down to check on him, but the fallen angel has it covered, so Steel returns to her battle position. Marina tags herself in and just starts using Dante's body as a punching bag because who's gonna stop her? I'm not gonna stop her. Well, the ref does try, but she doesn't listen. She elbows Dante in the face instead and then tags out of there. Shafir continues to be a menace by shoving her foot in Dante's face and taunting him while Mox twists his body. But that's fueling Steele's rage across the ring, and she cannot wait to get her hands on Marina again. Marina gets into the ring while Dante is in his flurry of fighting back, and she grabs him by the hair. Instinct kicks in, and Dante clocks Shafir with a kick that doesn't put her out, but makes the problem stumble. Zeta Steel makes a tag and flies at Shafir, temporarily mounting her a couple of times and getting some good elbows in, but Marina was able to buck her off with ease. Shafir backs herself into a corner, and that was not a good place to be. Not at full power anymore. Zeta was able to keep Marina in the side headlock, and with the assistance of Garcia's face, swings into a DDT and plants Marina's head into the mat. Mwah! Zeta keeps moving quick. She escapes Marina's grasp. Once again, she is captured, although once again, she is captured after a flying crossbody and cracks Marina in the jaw with a few beautiful rolling elbows to get the fuck out of her grasp. Shenanigans ensue in tandem as Marina distracts the ref and fucking Yuta grabs Zeta's boot, taking her concentration off of Marina, who quickly then runs in and kicks her in the back of the head. We're going a little more dastardly in Death Rider camp here, I have to say. Marina hoists Zeta up onto her shoulders for an electric chair and tags in Moxley. Excuse me, sir. Mox, come here. Do you plan on murdering this young woman via the doomsday device? I hear equality ringing in the halls of wrestling, but good grief. Don't you think this is going a little bit too far? We shall all have to hold our breath and hope Zeta comes out of this alive. In muscle, and also in man, and Zeta is small. Zeta fights though. She punches Marina. Oh no, she pushes Marina into Moxley, and she does. Mox nuts himself on the top turnbuckle, and everything is fine. Zeta collapses in the ring and then tries to get to her corner, but before she can, Garcia is in and he hits her from behind. He, though, gets a few well-deserved elbows to the face and still breaks free and tags in Dante. She doesn't have long to rebuild that stamina, though, before she is flying through the ropes in a tope to take out that rascal fucking Yuta, who dared to take out Mr. Christopher Daniels, who's just sitting there politely being the fallen angel. Death Riders end up getting the win, and Marina takes out Dante Martin. The Death Riders celebrate by getting bouncy and very mouthy and slappy, then leave the ringside. They almost had it. They almost had it to Skyflight. But yeah, Death Rider's very heavily in that match, I have to say. Is their flirt with tweenerism coming to an end, is it? Speaking of flirting, Marina Shirakawa is out for revenge. And then maybe some more answers later. And the person she wants to physically interrogate next is the toxic world champion, Tekla herself. Mina is not interested in any dancing for power-ups this time. She is fueled by the need for revenge and has a lot to say. Our Toxic World Champion comes out next looking dangerous and mesmerizing. She wears her black spider coat, fanged mask, and what I've dubbed her bondage watermelon battle gear. The Toxic World Championship. Oh, the Toxic World Championship shines around her waist, and the world champion is fired up. Tekla completes her battle entrance in the middle of the ring, and Mina gives her space. So, y'all know how Tekla came from Stardom, right? We've talked about how Tekla got here to AEW, and we've also talked about how Mina got here. But we have never talked about the history of Mina Shirakawa, the Cosmic Angels, and Tekla, the Idol Killer, Donna Del Mondo, and Hate. Remember, Tekla first appeared as a masked wrestler who would attack various other wrestlers during the Super Wars trilogy event in 2021. Julia would later announce that these two masked vigilantes will be joining her Donna De Mondo stable. Tekla and Mirai were revealed to be those masked wrestlers when they teamed up with Julia to take on Cosmic Angels. On 2022 Stardom Nagoya Supreme Fight, Mina Shirakawa and Tekla battled it out for the vacant SWA World Championship, which Tekla won. Eventually, Julia had to go on another journey, and they announced the disbandment of Donna Del Mondo. After a small break, Tekla returned to Stardom and caused Mina Shirakawa to lose her match against Natsuko Tora and joined Tora's faction, Oedo Tai. Tekla denounced her former Donna Del Mondo stablemates and declared that she was back to completely eradicate idol culture in Stardom and destroy Joshi wrestling. Tora and Sayaka Mitani would announce that the Oedo Tai and Queen's Quest faction would be disbanding. Sayaka Mitani joined Tora and the rest of Oedo Tai and formed Hate. Harass, abuse, terrorize, eradicate. Mina Shirakawa was brought into stardom from TJPW by Tam Nakano to face Nakano's Stars faction leader Mayu Iwatani and stablemate Starlight Kid. After this match, Tam Nakano was able to convince Iwatani to let Mina Shirakawa join Stars and the Cosmic Angels were born. Cosmic Angels formed a subgroup under Stars with Tam Nakano as its leader. Tam brought in Unagi Sayaka, also from TJPW, and with Mina Shirakawa as Cosmic Angels, they defeated Oedo Tai for the Artists of Stardom Championship. Not long after that, Tam Nakano announced that Cosmic Angels was splitting off from Stars, and they became their own faction. Cosmic Angels had many battles against Donna Del Mondo. Donna Del Mondo and Cosmic Angels faced one another for the first time at the beginning of 2022, and a few weeks later, Mina and Tekla will have their first one-on-one battle at Stardom Nagoya Supreme Fight. For one of these battles at Dream Queendom 2, Mina Shirakawa was accompanied to the ring by Zaya Brookside and a debuting Mariah May. The Cosmic Angels were victorious against Donna Del Mondo, Tekla, and Mai Sakurai, and to celebrate, Mina slaps her stablemate, Sayaka, and announced that she was forming Club Venus with May and Zaya as a subgroup of Cosmic Angels. As Club Venus, Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May would defeat future AEW Tag Team Champion and the Toxic World Champion Megan Bayne and Tekla in a one-off tag match and continued their running feud with Donna Del Mondo. After a loss to Donna Del Mondo at 2023 Cinderella tournament with the Cosmic Angels, Mina announced that Club Venus would be breaking away from the Cosmic Angels. Zaya couldn't stick around for long though, so Xena was brought into the club. Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa formed Rose Gold, and between that and Club Venus, the rivalry between Tekla and Mina just raged on until Mariah and then Mina left Stardom. Now Tekla is the AEW Toxic World Champion, And they are once again on the opposite side of the ring from one another, about to have a match for the world title. They start the match talking shit and beating the crap out of one another. Mina is pissed and throws Tekla around the ring. She cracks her in the back with stiff kicks and a DDT. Oh, and DDT'd her to, my bad, and DDT'd her face into the mat. Tekla rolls to the outside, but Mina quickly follows and gives no shit about herself and suplexes Tekla on the outside. We get a close up of Mina, and she is here, but she's also somewhere else, deep in her mind. She beats up Tekla a bit more and then rolls her back into the ring. Tekla takes control by taunting Mina into the ropes and then runs a boot right through her head. They flirt with danger on the apron, but in the end, Mina escapes certain death. Tekla avoids a sweep kick, but not the leg trip, and Tekla pancakes onto the hardest part of the ring. Mina is not done, and Tekla gets DDT'd into the floor. Mina unleashes a pitiful cry of grief from the depths, and she literally spits venom from her broken heart straight down the camera. Tekla tries to crawl away from Mina, but Mina follows her, stomping down on Tekla's back. Mina grabs Tekla and lifts her to her feet, where Tekla has a perfect line to Mina's jaw, and she cracks Shirakawa with a stiff elbow. Tekla and Mina decide to try and destroy each other on the outside, using the barricades in the side of the ring to its fullest. Tekla is starting to feel a lot better about this situation and gives us a taunting Mina shimmy with some extra sass. They finally get back into the ring where Tekla continues to kick the crap out of Mina Shirakawa. Tekla gets her down on the mat and starts torturing Shirakawa gleefully. Tekla, oh, the ref, not Tekla, keeps telling Tekla to stop, but she just goes back to doing something even more painful. Then Tekla goes full timeless and starts flailing around the mat, dancing and flaunting. She mocks her demise and then gives Mina one more stomp. Tekla's mocking, though, activated Mina, and she rocks Tekla's skull with a running knee right into where she was coming with a spear. Tekla is hurt, and Mina keeps the pain coming. She nails Tekla in the chest with a solid avalanche shotgun drop kick, then twists her lower limbs like a pretzel, and just for funsies, grabs a handful of Tekla's hair. Tekla breaks it by making it to the ropes, and once again, these two go back to throwing bricks at each other. Tekla decides enough is enough and whips off her belt. The ref is right on it though, and will not be allowing any of this. But was that the real weapon? As the ref gets Tekla's belt out of the ring, Tekla pulls some brass knuckles out of her boudoirs, but Mina avoids the wild swing that would have sent her head into the rafters had it connected. Tekla gets another opportunity, and as quickly as sneaky lightning clocks Mina in the face and gets the pin on a very knocked out Mina Shirakawa. Tekla is so skilled at keeping those brass knuckles hidden, and she completely gets away with it. My woman, the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue come out doing me the personal favor in exquisite all black outfits, and they celebrate with our Toxic World Champion and their Triangle of Madness sister. They are amazing! And Tekla continues to win her Toxic World Championship matches with dastardly deeds. She has yet to win one clean, and don't hold your breath on that one. The remarkable in pink flower petal leather, Renee Paquette, gets the Canadian pleasure of talking to the Canadian treasure, Kenny Omega. They chat and we bugger off to Collision. Stop absolutely everything. Though, right now, Arkady Aura is here and she is the absolute moment, standing in the ring wearing a long form hugging orange dress that looks beautiful. It just had to be known. It just had to be acknowledged. Really did. Woo! We are kicking off the battles though with an absolute bang as the Babes of Wrath are here for their rematch against our new tag team champions, Divine Dominion. Penelope Ford update. She's still silent. wishing her nothing but the absolute best. It's just not the same show without you, Penelope. See, she's not even talking to me anymore. Willow and Harley look awesome in matching black and white battle gear. Willow has her TBS title around her waist. Harley has a very cool new white spiked battle jacket, which is awesome. We get a da 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 pow, and we're in the ring. Everyone in Cedar Rapids absolutely loves the Babes of Wrath, and they're going bananas. Our out next are our new dominant tag team champions, Divine Dominion. They stand side by side on the entrance ramp looking divine and powerful. Lena holds her title in her hand, wearing red and black, while Megan wears hers around her waist in white and red, both oozing confidence and arrogance. They get into the ring and then complete their battle entrance, snobbing the babes of wrath, and then walk over to their corner to get battle ready. The four wrestlers square up in the middle of the ring and then instantly begin to fight. Lena Cross and Harley knock each other out of the ring and then continue to brawl on the outside. In the ring, Willow and Megan Bayne are playing who can smush the other one first. Bayne ends up winning that battle in the ring, and Heidi looks like she was the successful one for the battle on the outside. But Willow springs into action, and all of a sudden, Bayne is in some trouble. Willow slams Megan's chest in with repeated forearms and then tags in Harley. Cross, still nowhere to be seen. Goodness knows what Cameron did with her. Cameron quickly tags in Willow for the double team, and Harley runs her knee through Bayne. Willow slams on a crossbody, and then boom! Lena Cross slides into the ring out of nowhere and is already. Unfortunately, she finds Harley's boot and Willow's chop, and the Babes of Wrath sent Cross back out. Shouldn't have made such a big deal out of it. Megan Bayne gets back to her feet, but the Babes of Wrath are still tagging, and Harley Cameron flies off the top rope and takes Bayne off of her feet with a flying crossbody. They're working real quick and well together. Willow gets tagged back in, and she warms Bayne up with some spicy chops. The hero of the locker room attempts to run off the ropes, but Divine Dastardly Dominion deeds kick in, and Cross pulls Willow's feet out from underneath her and pulls Willow out of the ring. The ref is oblivious due to Megan Bayne's amazing distraction and improv skills, and all shenanigans are gotten away with. Even the slam into the apron Willow received to her face wasn't noticed. Lena holds Willow in place and Megan comes flying through the ropes, but those ropes have been watching what Lena has been up to, and they step in where the ref did not, and they take Megan out. Bayne would still manage to take out Willow, though, despite those dastardly ropes' attempt at sabotage, and Willow crumbles to the floor. Bayne gets to her feet like nothing happened, but she is mad. Those ropes are going to pay. Divine Dominion make Willow pay for the ropes and slingshot her into the barricade with zero mercy. They send her back into the ring, and Bayne gives Willow her demolishing combination of relentless destruction and tags in Cross for the pin. But Willow won't stay down. This time, Cross lays in the pain while the crowd try to chant up some power for Willow. But Cross tags in Bayne, and things just continue to go bad for Willow Nightingale, but great for Megan Bayne. In fact, everything continues to go the way of Divine Dominion, which means more pain for Willow, and there is nothing Harley can do about it. Double D are just too good at working the shenanigans behind the ref's back. Lena plays around with Willow, mocking her in front of Cameron, and then tags in Megan for some very painful double team funsies on the hero of the locker room. Cross and Bayne thrust kick the shit out of Willow, and then she gets slammed into the mat by a Megasis suplex. Bayne tags in Cross and she continues stomping on Willow. Lena Cross is very confident and she allows herself a moment of villainous gloating, but this gives Willow the opportunity to crack Lena with a jawbreaker. Willow activates again, escapes danger mode, and uses Divine Dominion speed and strength against them, and finally makes a tag out to Harley. Cameron runs into the ring with full power, straight into Cross, and hammers her face with forearms. Harley Cameron fancy pantses herself all over Cross and takes her down to the mat and locks on a single leg crab. But Megan Bayne nopes the fuck out of all of that and removes Harley from her tag partner. Willow's back in the ring, but still running on half stamina. The Babes of Wrath combine and manage to rock Divine Dominion, but as they come off the ropes with the dual crossbodies, Bane and Cross just casually yoink them out of the air and give their bodies a clink and send the babes of wrath flying over their heads with dual fall-away slams, followed by body-shattering lariats. But Harley won't stay down. They try to make her pay with a double vertical suplex, but Harley was able to shift her weight whilst upside down. She rammed Divine Dominion's head into the mat with a double DDT. Harley crawls to her corner to tag in a pretty fooked Willow. Willow does a damn good job at fighting off Bane and Cross and escapes the corner before she gets smushed by Cross. Bane gets smushed instead by the backpack senton, and Harley covers Bane, but she don't stay down for three. Harley Cameron is determined to take this Divine Dominion down and fights them both off as she attempts a top rope move of destruction. Willow bursts into the ring and helps Harley out by taking Cross out with the pounce. Cameron powerbombs Bane and then twists her into the single leg crab. Willow stays in the ring and glumps one on Cross, and she tries to fight her way back into the ring. Bane pulls herself to the ropes and breaks the submission. Cameron finds herself having to fight off both Cross and Bane once again, and she does so successfully until she gets yoinked by Cross and then is absolutely demolished by Divine Dominion's double team of viciousness, and they get the win. As Megan Bane and Lena Cross bask in their glory, we swiftly scoot to the backstage area where Lexi Nair with all the hair and a very cute yet chic outfit gets some fired up words from the Brawling Babes. The Brawling Birds. They are babes, but they're birds. They are mad in all capitals and will be joining forces with Mina Shirakawa to take down the Triangle of Madness in an effort to find out who took out Timeless Tony Storm. They put out the challenge to any random three, and we shall see who take up that challenge next. Unfortunately, that is the end of Babes of Wrath. Thank you, Babes of Wrath. You were a joy. Never forgotten. Well, how can you be? You're the first AEW tag champions ever. Never forgotten. Always loved. I'm sure we'll see you again in the future for some reason. Mina comes out first, and the dance battle is back. The Brawling Birds follow her out next, and the three of them stomp and shimmy down to the ring. Their opponents are already in the ring, and they are Nikki XS, Amina Belmont, and Haven Harris. Now, we've talked about the amazingly colorful Nikki XS all the way back in episode 8 when she faced the problem, Marina Shafir, on ROH. And then way back even further in episode 5, we saw Amina Belmont take on Harley Cameron, but we have never met Haven Harris before. The Queen of Cubs, Haven Harris, is from Chicago and is coming up to about 4 years in wrestling, but she took 2024 off. Haven Harris and Kendall Fire, I love that name, by the way, are the inaugural HCW Tag Team Champions for Hybrid Championship Wrestling in Indiana, the PWK Women's Championship for Pro Wrestling King in Michigan, and she's also the BCW Women's Champion for Brew City Wrestling in Wisconsin. Haven and Belmont were recently-ish in a Women's Good as Gold Rumble for Uprising Women's Wrestling, which our very own tag team champion, Megan Bane, was in as well, and of course she won. This time they faced the Brawling Birds and an enraged Mina Shirakawa, so it should come to no surprise that all three of them get their asses beat by the Brawling Lovebirds. Nina XO is looking as fabulous as always in self-made battle gear. Haven was gorgeous in green and black, and Amina was dressed for battle in pink plaid. Nikki XO tapped to Mina's figure 4, and then all three of them got the funk out of there. Fair. Thank you for taking the punishment, ladies. We get a few words from the birds, and they tell Mina to her face that they had nothing to do with Timeless Tony Storm, and start talking some shit about the Sister Sin and our toxic world champion. Summoned from the darkness, the Triangle of Madness promptly appear from the crowd. All three of my favorite women are doing me the personal favor, and our toxic world champion, Tekla, spits toxic venom on the mic, and she absolutely kills it. Mina is having none of this bollocks and challenges the Triangle of Madness to a trios match against the Brawling Lovebirds. Mina declares that they will beat the piss out of them and that ignites all six wrestlers. You just know that this match is definitely happening and it's going to be rough. Is the army of good finally building against the ever-growing army of bad, who have most of the gold at the moment? We shall see how this develops. If you have any fun ideas, please let them be heard in the comment box below, because I love a good theory. Love a good fun theory. Now, we left Cedar Rapids and went to Winnipeg, and the entire beginning of the show got hijacked by a Canadian hot dog in purple. Kenny went for the record of being the most naked wrestler multiple times on a show, and an assassin got attacked from behind by a bastard. So it's all freaking go over here in Winnipeg. Hey, guess who's our first woman out on this dynamite? You know full well it's fucking the problem. She comes out stone-faced in red and black while the Death Riders continue to threaten or teach, depending on your view of the situation, Will Ospreay. They leave without ending the bruv and they slink back into the night from whence they came. It's time to get toxic. Are we dreaming? For our first match, it will be the trios match of absolute deadly Triangle of Madness. Fire! Our Toxic World Champion is dressed for battle in silver and black in her awesome studded fluffy spider coat of amazingness. And the gorgeous World Championship is around her waist. Julia Hart wears a battle coat that is the color of pure blood, so shiny that it looks like the blood is actively pouring down her arms. She wears black and blue battle gear to complement Sky Blue, who is in her blue with black battle gear that has won her many matches. This gear by Julia is new. They climb up onto the apron and complete world's greatest battle entrance, now that we don't have Mount before, and they combine their power. Mina Shirakawa and her heart-stopping surprise straight hair are out first, and we get a very serious battle dance of power. Mina may not think the Triangle of Madness has anything to do with Storm's attack, but the audacity needs to be addressed. White pom-poms are flying from Mina's battle jacket as she completes her dance and is dressed for battle in her current blue revenge gear. The Brawling Birds are out next and they are punch drunk, full of power, and the three of them combine quite well. They make their way down to the ring, and Triangle of Madness should be careful. I love their British punk battle gear on the Brawling Birds. It looks so good on them. It really does suit them so well. They all stomp down to the ring and completely take over the in-ring area and the entire arena. Mina wants to fight Tekla. And after what we've spoken about, no surprise there. And calls her a bitch, which amuses Tekla a lot, and myself. They instantly step up to each other and start talking a lot of shit. Mina wants to get physical, but Tekla avoids her and rolls back into her corner to taunt Shirakawa with a times pose. Blue and Mina, we're not onto that one yet. We're done. Mina goes to whack Tekla, but the Toxic World Champion and her stunning pink nails slip through the ropes and Sky takes over. Blue and Mina are quite well matched, but once the Brawling Birds get brought into the match, they start double teaming all over Sky Blue, who can do nothing to counter the very experienced pain providers Windsor and Hater are together. They have the perfect chemistry to tie wrestling moves together in a chain of brutality, which makes them so beautiful to watch. The Brawling Birds are going to be an iconic tag team champion, are going to be iconic tag team and also champions for the ages if they stay together. Sky Blue gets targeted for a lot of damage until Julia and Tekla pick themselves back up off the floor and Hart nails Mina in the back. Tekla stomps down on Mina's back and we get a shimmy from the Toxic World Champion. Being the champion has really brought out the joy in Tekla. Julia Hart gets into the ring, and I get a decent look at her new gear, and it kicks. Ah, stark blue and strapped up the wazoo. Yes, please. Hart slams Mina into the mat and pounds down on Shirakawa with absolutely no mercy. Hart plays around with Mina and tries to squeeze off Mina's head as Blue and Tekla scamper around the ring and pull the brawling birds off of the apron. This plan doesn't go as well as it usually does and just ends up making them even more mad. Windsor is back on that apron as quick as a queef and tags in. She makes Julia pay, which makes Blue mad, and she threatens to get into the ring. It was a distraction on Windsor, and she fell for it perfectly. Being in the heat of battle, Windsor turns her rage onto Blue, giving Hart the perfect opportunity to take her out. And Julia tags in Tickler. Our Toxic World Champion bounces into the ring and tries to suplex Windsor, but Alex blocks her attempts and almost suplexes the World Champion herself. But Blue quickly gets into that ring and grabs Tekla by the boots and blocks that suplex. Blue and Tekla try to suplex Windsor, but Hayter nopes the fook out of that, and now it's 2-on-2. The stronger team will surely win this suplex war, right? But Hart is back into the ring and brings a hammer fist of strength depletion down onto Hayter's back, and she is stopping all of that. Now that the Triangle of Madness have combined, the Brawling Birds are in danger of succumbing to the suplex. But Mina gets in there just in time and they win the battle of the suplex, but everyone just collapses in the ring. Like my fist is collapsing with water. Tickler and Winter, no. Tickler and Windsor get to their feet swinging and they crack each other with stiff shots. The brawling lovebirds gather quicker than the Triangle of Madness, and Tickler soon has to deal with a very angry Mina Shirakawa again. She gets Tickler down on the mat and twists her legs into the figure four, but Tickler just kicks her off. Mina recovers quicker than Tickler again and missiles the knee through her face. Sky is in the ring instantly and slams Mina's face into the mat where the Sky fall. Unfortunately for Blue, she then gets caught in the strong arms of Alex Windsor and she gets power bombed to hell. Hart takes Windsor by surprise and knocks her teeth out with a double soul food, a soul crusher, shall we say. Engages steel abs mode and pops back up to her feet. Hater's not happy about all of this, yells at Hart, and then she cracks her back over her knee. Tickler is in front of Hayter, and before Jamie can react, the Toxic World Champion kicks her knee out from under her and then roundhouse kicks Hayter in the face. Mina is back in and with a battle cry clashes with Tickler. And then once again, everyone is out. All of the wrestlers finally crawl to their corners to regroup, and the Triangle of Madness start taking Mina and Shirakawa apart. The Sisters of Sin double team on Mina with vicious intensity, but Mina is activated, and when Sky comes running in for the thrust kick to the face, Mina ducks it, lifts Blue up and over the top rope. Sky goes flying and then quickly falling, while Mina scampers to her corner and tags in the Brawling Birds. They almost demolish Julia Hart with two birds, one stone, but Tekla and her brass knuckle bestie try to interfere and Hayter gets distracted. The Toxic World Champion almost gets the poison smooshed out of her veins by the Brawling Birds, who are definitely here to hurt you, but seem to be wanting to hurt the Triangle of Madness more than anyone right now. They would make excellent members of the Hurt Syndicate, just saying. Tickler gets taken out with two birds, one stone. Julia Hart tries to lock on the Manjikatame, but Hayter blocks it and gives Julia another backbreaker. Jamie hits Julia Hart with a hatery, and no one is able to help her. Julia gets pinned for the 3 by Jamie Hayter. The Brawling Birds celebrate a win that must have felt really good, while Triangle of Madness crawl and claw away around the ring, trying to regather for battle for another day. Stronger, madder. If Mina Shirakawa was looking for some help and some backup muscle while she looks for the one responsible for taking out Timeless Tony Storm, then the Brawling Birds are a great team to have on your side. They seem to think so too and announce later on in a segment that gets shown on Collision that they shall be teaming up and they are on the hunt. Watch out. When we go to Collision, Divine Dominion make everyone bow down with their collective awesomeness. And once again, Penelope Ford check. Still no word. Still very sad. Still very missed. Still so much to do. Divine Dominion addressed for destruction as per usual, and looking totally dominant as per usual. They walk with purpose slowly to the ring. Inside that ring, their opponents are once again awaiting their entrance. Divine Dominion will be facing two wrestlers we have never spoken about before, Kristara and Ava Lawless. Kristara is bright in lime green Jeff Hardy camo-inspired battle gear and is from Montreal. She has 4 years of in-ring experience, and our very own Speed Paul is one of her trainers. Kristara currently holds two championships, the NSPW Junior Heavyweight Championship for the North Shore Pro Wrestling in Quebec, and she is the first ever woman holder of the IWC World Heavyweight Championship for International Wrestling Syndicate in Montreal. She's also held the IWS Women's World Championship as well. She's also held the APW Women's Championship for Acclaimed Pro Wrestling in Ottawa, C4 Tag Champion for Capital City Championship Combat in Ottawa, and the CBPW Women's Champion and IWS Tag Team Champion. Whew, that's a lot of championships for 4 years. Kristara recently battled for the Eve title against Rio for Mystery Wrestling before Rio then lost it to Session Moth. She battled for the Wobbly Wobbly Republic ID women's women's title against Lainey Luck, who is a fave here in D'Iberville. And she also battled Shayna Baszler in the WPW Women's Voyager Cup quarter final last month. Ava Lawless herself has long fire-inspired hair and is also from Ottawa. She has 6 years. Six? Yeah, sure. Of in-ring experience and has held many a bout. Ava Lawless is a two-time RCW Women's Champion for Real Canadian Wrestling in Alberta, and as of recording date, is the only woman RCW Canadian Heavyweight Champion, two-time Top Talent Champion for Top Talent Wrestling, also in Alberta, and Ava Lawless was also the WPW Women's Champion for Winnipeg Pro Wrestling. In 23, Ava had two matches in AEW. Both of them were against Taya Valkyrie, one on Rampage and the other was on Dynamite. She also faced the Forever Champ for, as of this recording, 1,214 days. Athena in a proving ground match on ROH. In 24, she battled against Nyla Rose on Collision. And once again, Ava Lawless is in another tough battle on AEW. Kristara steps up to Megan Bayne, but Megan Bayne doesn't allow her to stay on her feet much. She then tags Ava in and cross tags in for the double team on the newly tagged in Ava Lawless. Divine Dominion use Kristara's and Ava's bodies as weapons and throw them both around the ring. Ava gets demolished by a boot at 100k from Bane straight through her face, and Divine Dominion go for the double team to end this. Kristara is up and in the ring, and before she can even consider her own safety, breaks up that double team move on Ava. Bane and Cross turn to face Kristara, and she does flinch a bit, but by the statues of muscular flesh that are before her, but Kristara swallows down that bullshit and starts laying in sharp chops to Divine Dominion. Go, Kristara! But she gets yoinked by Cross and they double team the fook out of her with a drop kick suplex combo. With Kristara out of the way, Bane and Cross return to whatever they were going to do with Ava Lawless. Divine Dominion give Lawless divine intervention and win the match and continue to look absolutely fabulous. You tried, Kristara and Ava Lawless. You really did. Well done. But this is Divine Dominion, and they give no fucks. Whew. And they look fabulous. But speaking of looking fabulous, da 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 bow! Our gorgeous TBS champion is here to see who has taken up her open challenge. She looks stunning in like great purple, but has a load of tape on her shoulder, which is definitely a concern and also a massive target to whoever is going to be taking up this Open challenge. While we're here, though, we're also going to do another quick call out to the amazing Arkady Aura, who in this episode is wearing a stunning yet extremely comfortable looking outfit in light grey. Her pants are like a loose fit, and her halter top has all these sparkles. It shimmers like a rainbow under the lights. I want one in black, like real badly. Looks amazing. This woman has amazing clothes. We have been talking about her. Did not actually think it would be her accepting this challenge, but Hikaru Shida is here! Holy flying fraggles! It is so good to see Shida. Oh, it's so good to see Shida. The smoke clears and Hikaru stands there, kendo stick in hand, and she looks absolutely epic. Nearly a criminal 500 days away from the AEW ring. I hope this is a good sign that she will be back for permanent battle in the ununited states soon. We start very respectfully, and then Hikaru whips up the crowd with a battle cry. Hikaru steps up to Willow's strengths, enjoying the challenge that Willow is giving her. Willow slams Sheeta into the corner, and the crowd chant along as she plows forearms through Hikaru. But Sheeta ducks the ripcord, shoves Willow into the corner, and runs a stiff knee into Willow's jaw. Willow gets rocked by another knee to the back of her head, but she stays alive. Sheeta challenges, no, she changes her plans and switches to submissions. But when they get back to their feet, Willow makes Hikaru fly out of the ring with the pounce. The TBS champion barks up the crowd and cannonballs off the apron into a dazed Sheeta and then rolls her back into the ring. Willow is feeling more in control of this battle now and plays around a little bit, causing Sheeta to get a bit frustrated. Willow gets Sheeta back up into the corner again and hammers down forearms to her chest. Sheeta awakens and grabs two handfuls of Willow's hair. She twists them both around and then slams Willow into the corner she was just in. Sheeta gives Willow too much space and runs right into a back elbow. Willow sends Hikaru Sheeta into the ring with a middle rope drop kick, but Sheeta gets her foot on the ropes just in time to break the pin. And then we get dance break. And when we come back, Shitter is control of both of them on the apron, and we don't know how it just fucking happened. Dangerous situations get flirted with until Hikaru cracks Willow in the skull with a head cracking kick. Willow drops to the floor. Sheeta grabs her assistant's steel chair and uses it to launch her knee into Willow's face, connecting perfectly. Willow stumbles back into the barricades, and Hikaru Sheeta whips up the crowd. Sheeta hammers down forearms to Willow's head as the crowd chant along very heavily, and then Sheeta sends Willow back into the ring. Sheeta enters the ring via the top rope and flies down onto Willow with a meteora. Yes, I am thinking what you're thinking. A Mercedes Moné versus Hikaru Shida Meteora fight. Yes, we are geniuses. Willow fights back and tries to put Hikaru in the bed with the power bomb, but his shoulder gives out and she cannot do it. Shida survives the Death Valley driver and avoids the moonsault press. Willow crashes down onto the mat and Shida cracks her in the face with another powerful knee strike. Shida follows with the Tamashi, but still no win. The katana gets blocked. Willow's rebound lariat gets blocked. They wrestle, tussle until Willow gets Sheeta into the backslide and then pins her shoulders into the mat. And we get this iconic freaking picture right here. Willow celebrates her win, completely oblivious to what is about to happen. Willow gets the win over the AEW legend, Hikaru Shida. Willow is beaming with the biggest victory smile ever, but Hikaru is shocked, mad, and then frustration joins the mix. Willow is completely oblivious that Shida almost took her out with the kendo stick. By the time she turns around, Sheeta has lowered the kendo stick, but Willow can see that there was a look in Sheeta's eye. She could see that there were some intentions. Willow shakes it off pretty quickly, though, and leaves a frustrated Hikaru Sheeta in the ring. a real frustrated Sheeta in the ring. I've never seen her like bash her kendo stick in such frustration before. But I hope that's not the last we see of her. Ah, it's not. Really not. We were talking books and Bex. Books totally like pointed it out that it was in Canada, and I'm like, oh no, that is a good point. So hopefully work visa thingies or whatever the thingy hooies or whatever the diddly doodlies are now over for diddly doodly. But for our diddly doodlies, on the next Dynamite, Willow will be facing the returning Queen Aminata. It would also be amazing in the Hurt Syndicate, just by the way. I am so happy that we get to see the one and only back. We are racing towards Dynasty, people. We already know on the 0 hour that we're going to have Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir. Holy shit, you're going to get that hard-hitting match of brilliance for free. Y'all are lucky. And on the main show, we already know that the Toxic World Champion will be facing Jamie fucking Hayter. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. The posters for Dynasty give me a Toxic Gas vibe, and I really love them. So I hope that's like good sign for the Toxic World Champion. Toxic World Champion has many, many weapons to hide in her brassiere. You're gonna have to be prepared. I think. I don't think she's gonna be stopping that anytime soon. It's working so well, isn't it? Isn't it working brilliantly? She is a heel, by the way. And on that note, what are your thoughts on this week's discussion, people? If you so wish, you can leave them as comments in the appropriate sections of wherever you are. And if you would be so kind as to like and subscribe whilst you're there, that would really rule. Currently, we are very humbly going for 500 subscribers. So if you feel inclined, we'd be really grateful. We're almost at 200, so 300 to go. Woo! I love you there. You can find this wonderfully articulated person on threads at Bix_Bestet and also under a tree, not really saying much, at Bix-Bestet. You can follow the show on TikTok, Don't Call Me Diva Show, where you will see many funny recent clips from the latest Books and Big Show. I would like to thank the amazing editor, producer extraordinaire of the show, Shane. Go check out his wonderful Ethos Media YouTube channel. They got some really great political content going on there at the moment, along with everything else. But if, because we're so inclined with this current thing, go check out the Ethos Media Network chat if you would like to see more of that. If you haven't checked out the pre-mentioned Books and Big Show, then we have it right here on the DCMD channel. You don't have to go anywhere at all. It's right there. Join us at Sickos Club and at Sickos Club on Threads. That was sickosclub.com, by the way. You've never met a more inclusive, smart, kind, talented bunch of silly sausages who are currently trying to put something together that's going to be absolutely brilliant, and we will let you know when it's going to come out. This was Don't Call Me Diva. Women's Wrestling Rules! Don't be a dick.